COVID-19 is one type of coronavirus, which I speak later on, inshallah. And they give solution. Even that, I'm shocked. Giving solution about coronavirus, how to treat COVID-19, which is not their specialty. And they're even speaking about Islamic aspects, which is not their field. Most of us guys, we are not fuqahas, we are not mujtahid, and they're giving instructions on not to do something which is fard. Let the fuqahas do that. Let the mujtahid do that. A da'i cannot. And imagine if you're wrong, what will happen? Because our beloved Prophet ﷺ said that while giving fatwa, if you are qualified, if you give a right fatwa, you get double sawab. If you give the wrong opinion, wrong fatwa, yet you get a single sawab. But if you're talking about medical aspects, which is not your field, whether right or wrong, you are responsible for the damage caused. It is wrong because today, very few people in the world know about the details of COVID-19. Even I, though I'm a medical doctor, I'm not qualified to speak on COVID-19. There are few people like virologists, like immunologists, those who are specialized in epidemics, who are specialized on virus. A small section of the medical field, they are qualified. So how can a da'i just read a newspaper and repeat it without verifying? Even if it turns out to be right later on, you will be responsible. Similarly, giving fatwa is not our scope. Let the fuqahas do that. That was one of the reasons that I did not speak about COVID-19. But since the people requested me, thousands of them, and all the requests were talking about coronavirus, I will speak a couple of minutes on coronavirus to show you the difference, to give information. Coronavirus, people know about coronavirus since decades. Let me tell you that the coronavirus has got various species. There are about 20 species of coronavirus. And most of these species of coronavirus, they do not affect the human beings. So when they say coronavirus, there's this damage, actually they're giving misinformation. Most of the coronavirus doesn't cause damage to the human beings. There are 5 species, there are 8 species which cause a problem. 5 of these species cause a very minimal problem to the human beings. There are 3 species which really are detrimental and cause a great damage to the human beings. If you read, the coronavirus was first discovered in the animals in 1930s. It was first discovered in chickens, which caused a respiratory tract infection in the chickens. Later on in 1940s, it was found in mouse, and in human beings, the first time it was found was in 1960s, and it was called human coronavirus. And the first time the word human coronavirus came in the print media was in 1968. As I mentioned, out of the 20 species available of coronavirus, only 8 affect the human beings. 5 are very mild and doesn't cause a major problem with human beings. The 3 are detrimental. Number 1 is the SARS coronavirus. SARS is severe acute respiratory syndrome, SARS, coronavirus, COV. This mainly spread in the world. It was declared a pandemic in 2003. It started in 2002 in China. It mainly spread in 2003, and 2004 was the last that it was seen. So SARS coronavirus mainly spread in 2003. It started in 2002, ended in 2004. After that, it wasn't seen. It was mainly a respiratory tract symptoms were seen. It was declared as a pandemic by the WHO. And the second one is MERS, Middle East Respiratory Syndrome coronavirus. This Middle East Respiratory Syndrome, it spread in 2012. And it affected about 2,494 people in the world. And about 858 people died because of MERS. It spread in about 24 countries, and yet they're keeping a track. As late as the end of 2019, the report said there were 2,494 cases in the full world over all these about 10 years, and it killed 858 human beings. That means a mortality, a death rate of 34.4%. Whereas SARS coronavirus, it had infected 8,098 people in the world and killed 774 people, less than 10% death rate. That is 9.55% death rate. Recently, a few months ago, came the third coronavirus species, which was very deadly for the human beings, and that was COVID-19. Coronavirus disease 2019, also called as SARS-CoV-2, that is severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2. This was first came into existence and notified to the WHO was in the end of December 2019, and the infection started a couple of months, some say November, some say October, some say earlier in 2019. What I gave you information is about coronavirus, which is there, and it is already established information. You can go to any medical journal, any medical site, and the information will be somewhat similar. COVID-19, coronavirus 2019 disease, it is new. We aren't aware of the details. There is no established treatment for it yet. There are researches being done. So if the medical fraternity who are specialized in this field, if they give their comments, it's okay. But every Tom, Dick and Harry talking about the treatment, talking about to take care about it, and the guy is doing it, is not our field. Even if we turn out to be right tomorrow out of fluke, that doesn't mean what we did is that, because the Quran clearly mentioned in Surah Hujurat chapter 49, verse number 6, when you get the information, you check it up, check its reliability. So if the medical experts themselves don't know the authenticity, how can we talk about it? That was the reason I kept silent on this issue. And now what I've spoken is on coronavirus, which is not COVID-19. It is the family of the coronavirus. What I can tell you about COVID-19, that as of today, if you read the WHO, it gives the case 1 day before. According to WHO report, which I read a few hours before, as of yesterday, 24th of April, 2 CEST, 2 a.m. CEST time zone, there were 2.63 million people infected all over the world, of which 182,100 died. But when I refer to the worldometer, which gives the update every minute, as of today, that's 1 day later than the statistics I quoted of WHO, as of today, the 24th of April, 2020, 1:58 GMT, 1:58 AM or 1:0158 hours GMT, 2.83 million people all over the world were infected in more than approximately 185 countries, and 197,245 people died. And if you calculate the percentage, it comes to 6.97% death rate. I don't say this is the accurate one, because there are tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of them yet infected by the COVID-19, and because they have not been tested and most of them are asymptomatic, if you come to know the actual number of people infected will be much higher. So death rate also, but naturally will come lower. So this was a brief information about the COVID-19, and for the people who take care when talking about coronavirus, about COVID-19, let us understand and try and find out what is mentioned in the seerah of the Prophet and the Sahabas about the epidemic diseases. Our beloved Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, it's mentioned in Sahih Bukhari, volume number 7, hadith number 5728. Our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that when you hear news of the break of a plague in a land, do not enter that land. And if in the place where you are staying a plague breaks out, do not leave that place. The same message is repeated in Sahih Bukhari, volume number 7, hadith number 5729.